Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sing. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn on your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to you all for the support and love you all give me here. I am super grateful. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this man who actually want to be white so bad. Actually, people wrote it on his comment section. You want to be white so bad. And he was like, he came and was asking, why do you all black people keep saying that I want to be white so bad? Is it because I read books? So he is trying to say that black people don't read books. Black people are not learned. Black people are not educated. He went further to say, is it because I work out? Black people are lazy. Sorry. Black people are lazy. That is what he's trying. Black people are lazy. Black people can't work out. Black people just cannot do anything. They cannot take accountability of so many things and the rest of it. He went further to say so many shitty things about black people. And I love to say it. I love to see it when black people really come out to hit you. They really hit him real hard. Because I don't see how somebody, a black person, would just want to be a sellout to his own community. Not just being a sellout. He's saying so many shitty things about his own community and the rest of it. I am trying to wrap my head around all this, and I am like, man, who really give birth to these kind of people? Because I don't see a responsible black person that will come out to do something like this. And people are not finding it funny because he is making black people's experience look like they never experienced all this or still experiencing things like this. But then he is a sellout, son of Kunisha. And you know what? I'm just gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely will read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and straight up,
you want to be white so bad, it's sad. So hey, tell me, what's the reason I want to be white? Is it because of how I speak? Is it because I'm not consistently blaming things on racism or wanting to only live in the past and talk about the past? Is it because I read books and talk about educating ourselves and becoming better? Is it because I talk about personal accountability and I emphasize how decisions are going to affect your life? Or maybe it's because I don't talk shit on white people regularly. Is it because I go to the gym? What is it? Is it the fact that I talk about business and there are other things that influence people's decision-making other than racism? Is it because I don't see race as the end-all be-all? Is it because I pay more attention to people's actions and their character than I do their skin color? Is it because I don't think like 90% of black Americans? Again, what is it that makes me want to be white? I'm curious. Enlighten me. Is it because I'll show black people committing crime and then I'll lay out and explain how that negatively affects that community, which is negatively going to affect those black people? Do I want to be white because I'm not only talking about how great and awesome and amazing black people are? Do I want to be white because I'm admitting that we're not perfect and that we need to work on things and stop pointing our finger at everything else but ourselves? Because in reality, what I'm saying is take accountability for your life, get yourself in shape, make good decisions, be a positive effect on the community. I guess that's white people stuff. This is an example of what people say when they really have no substance to bring to an argument. It's cute, but come with something better. Is it because I read books and talk about educating ourselves and becoming better?
Well, hello there. So someone says that you want to be white and you say, why? Because I read books? The stereotype is crazy. Because us niggas, we don't read books. We just sit on our ass doing nothing. Negro, if I was white and your massa, I'd sail you down the river. Put you up on the block. What's the price for this nigga? Free. I'd try to get you to run away. I'd fill a burlap sack with your favorite foods, an extra change of clothes, and a little money. Get the hell out. You'd be looking back like a sad puppy as Harriet Tubman led you to freedom. Negro, leave us be. If you don't like us, that's fine. Be your own thing. But you don't have to mention us. Listen, the council has already revoked your black card. There's nothing left to do. You're free to live your life.
You want to be white so bad, it's sad. So hey, tell me,
Brother, I don't think it's the simple fact that they're saying you're white because of all these characteristics that you listed, but at the same exact time, the issue that people are having with you is the fact that you refuse to acknowledge that the things that black folks and Hispanic people have to endure over the years is what white folks have done. I'll give you an example. Planned Parenthood and abortion clinics. Majority of those things are actually in the black community. And the reason why is because the white man is literally trying to use Planned Parenthood to actually decrease the population of our people. Just like 70 to 80% of the prison population is black people. You got to understand that everything in America is literally set up against your people. And the thing about it is you refuse to acknowledge it. And that's the problem that a lot of black folks are having with you. It's not that you read. There's nothing wrong with reading. It's not that you talk proper. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not that you talk about business. It's the simple fact that you refuse to acknowledge that the hardships, the trials, the tribulations that your people deal with on a day-to-day basis is started. And the root of it comes from the same race of people that you want to defend on this platform for no apparent reason. I'm not speaking ill against white people. I don't got an issue with white folks. But the truth of the matter is we can't just sit there and turn the naked eye to the simple fact that everything we go through on a day-to-day basis started because of them. Is there some things that black people and Hispanic people we need to work on as a race of people? Absolutely. But remember, we just got out of slavery. 1865, right? That's when slavery was abolished. But in 1863, that's when the 13th Amendment was signed. So 1863, the amendment was signed, the 13th Amendment was signed to abolish slavery, right? And then 1865, that's when they freed us from the plantation. It took them 2 years to free us off the plantation when they signed the 13th Amendment. So that tells you how much hatred they have for our people. But you refuse to acknowledge that part. So it's not that you read books. It's not that you talk proper. It's not that you like to talk about business. It's just the simple fact that you refuse to pay attention to the simple fact they are responsible for majority of the problems that we face on a day-to-day basis. That's why majority of your people live in the projects. They live in the ghettos. They live in the trenches. But where do they live? In the best neighborhoods where there's a gated community and there's security at a gate. But where do your people live? Where there's nothing but gangs, where there's nothing but drugs. That's where we live. Not because we're bad with finances, but because of the simple fact we were strategically put there by the same race of people that you want to defend on this platform. Like I said before, don't have no issues with white folks. But bruh, you very big on talking about books. I promise you this. I'm going to leave a list of books that you can read that actually talks about what white people did to your people. And not only that, here's the icing on the cake. But these books that was written were written by white folks as well. But you need to do more research on your history because ultimately it shows that you are you're not compassionate towards your own people. It shows that you could care less about your people's problems. And because of that, that's why you're getting so much backlash from all the videos you drop because you refuse to acknowledge the hardships that your people deal with on a day-to-day basis that comes from the same race of people that you want to defend. That's the problem.
So, hey, tell me, what's the reason I want to be white? Is it because of how I speak?
Or it's because you think speaking properly is a white thing. Or because you think reading books is a white thing. You won't even admit that your following is like 99% white. You don't go to black neighborhoods and mentor black youth. You don't advocate on donating to charities that might help black youth. You don't correct your white audience when they call you one of the good ones. You don't highlight black historical figures or just successful black people. You never call out the racism of white people, the most prevalent racism in this country. Like you said, all you do is sit and talk, and it's mostly about all the negative things in the black community. You literally do nothing. That's why people think you want to be white.
Get yourself in shape, make good decisions, be a positive effect on the community. I guess that's...
Grandpa here. Good afternoon. Can we have real conversation? From time to time you pop up on my FYP page, and this is the one thing that I have realized that is consistent throughout your videos, is that you're pulling from the same talking points from white people. So you're rather white adjacent in your ideology. And there have been some black people that have come before you. A lot of times they struggle with the fact that there's this chasm that exists between them and the black community, and there's a lack of acceptance or perceived acceptance from the black community as a whole. So what you do is you echo the talking points of white people. The whole crime, poverty, not being, a productive person in your community, all these different things. But I just would have thought, being that you read so much, you would realize that that's not the solution to the problems in the black community. And also you would realize that the historical policies that have been put in place that still exist today were originally put in place to limit black people, black communities. Let me give you one. Do you live in a right to work state? Well, whether you do or you don't, the purpose of right to work states were to keep unions from forming and also to keep black people poor. It explicitly states that in several resources. Let's talk about crime. We know that crime exists based off of proximity. And if you have poverty, there is a close correlation between poverty and crime, especially in those cities where you have a large black population, but there also has to be income inequality. Oh, I'm pretty sure you didn't know about income inequality. Let's talk about that. Income inequality based off of race. Look up the Gini coefficient. But I thought you would know that, being that you read, though, right? All of this is not by happenstance. And the solution that you give of get in shape, be a productive person within the community, so on and so forth, I'm pretty sure my muscles are bigger than yours. The highest point that I've been at is executive leadership within healthcare, and I've been on the front line, so I've been a productive part of my community, and yet and still I encounter racism. So what's your point?
Because of how I speak? Is it because I'm not consistently blaming things on racism or what?
It's because you literally only shit on black people. That's why. You go out of your way to shit on black people. All this shit about you're here to uplift the community is a fucking lie. One of the most popular videos, you're straight up saying that, like, white people are actually the great because they stopped slavery and yada, 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 yada. Like, all of your content is anti-black. You don't, not a single time do you actually uplift the black community, talk about issues with the black community and ways to fix it. You just point out shit and let the racists go nuts. And you do it under the guise of, well, I'm just calling out bad behavior. You only call out this bad behavior with the black community. That's it. You have no counterpoints, no nothing. You're literally saying, oh, am I trying to be white because I read books, which implies that other black people don't read books, hence that's you becoming white. Like, the fact that you were spewing such basically white supremacist rhetoric and just getting thousands of followers for it, like, that proves the point, bro. Yeah.
The past and talk about the past? Is it because I read books and talk about educating our...
Hey, man, I want to let you know that I sound just like you. Like, I have the same articulate voice and everything. And I sometimes go through the same thing that you do, where people are like, oh, you want to be white so bad, you want to be white so bad. So I get, from brother to brother, I get how, like, you could get to this point and then get frustrated when people say this shit to you. But here's a word of advice. If a majority of the people in your comment section that's saying great response are white, I feel like there's something going on. You want
to be white so bad, it's sad. So, hey, tell me, what's the reason I want to be white?
So, Jeffrey here. Oh, excuse me. This is Steven from Django Unchained. Let me get Jeffrey. Okay, that's better. Jeffrey here is about to go into a bunch of tropes that he associates with being white, more so than the person who made that statement does. Let's get it.
So, hey, tell me, what's the reason I want to be white? Is it because of how I speak?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Next.
Is it because I'm not consistently blaming things on racism or wanting to only live in the past and talk about the past?
No, but that is your strongest argument for why somebody would believe you would want to be white. Your denial of the effects of racism on us living today. And your next trope is so hypocritical based upon the trope you just said. Let's get to it.
Is it because I read books and talk about educating ourselves and becoming better?
As I said, your answer to a statement shows us what you think being white is. And reading books and being educated, you think white people have the market cornered on that. I know you do. But, yeah, reading books about the past and how we can navigate towards a better future. Yeah, the irony. But moving right along.
Is it because I talk about personal accountability and I emphasize how decisions are going to affect your life?
And the irony continues. Because you say you talk about personal responsibility, but you don't talk about personal responsibility in general. You only talk about personal responsibility when a crime happens that you can show in the most spectacular fashion and talk about it like it's reflective of the entire black community. And at the same time, you totally ignore a system of political decisions made by predominantly white people that do have an impact on the lives of black and brown people and marginalized communities in this country, no matter how irresponsible they are.
Or maybe it's because I don't talk shit on white people regularly.
I think you missed that one. I think it would have been better if you would have said, is it because I talk shit on black people regularly?
Is it because I go to the gym?
The gym, huh? I don't even know where to go with that one, so we're just going to speed past it.
What is it? Is it the fact that I talk about business and there are other things that influence people's decision making other than racism?
How is it that you talk about business to black people without acknowledging the fact that policies and practices in this country have adversely affected the ability of black people to grow wealth and the long-term effects of redlining that are still in effect today? So while you're talking about these decisions that don't involve race, when you have a foundation that does involve race, all the rest of that shit you're talking about is irrelevant until that is addressed. Moving right along.
Is it because I don't see race as the end-all be-all?
No, it's probably because you don't see race at all. You live in a colorblind society, and I mean that with the utmost disrespect.
Because I pay more attention to people's actions and their character than I do their skin color?
Oh no, you all do see skin color. That's why you have so many videos of black people committing crimes on your page that you demonize. And when you do talk about a white person on your page committing a crime, you're there to defend them. But that's because of the character of their heart, right? Yeah, another one.
Is it because I don't think like 90% of black Americans?
Now, it seems like I've heard this conversation somewhere before.
Now, I've listened to your black ass talk all day about how much you can't stand black folks.
Ain't two of them in the history of the world that's worth a scrub for it.
Oh, how much you love white folks?
Best thing the good Lord ever did for the planet Earth.
Ruckus, you black as the ace of spades, man.
I don't see the need for you to go and insult the man after a game of checkers. We've been reminiscing all day, looking in each other's eyes, acting like we like each other. Now you gotta go ahead and remind me of my ailment.
Ailment?
That's right. You heard of vitiligo? Shoot, well I got re-vitiligo. Every year my skin just seems to get blacker and darker and blacker and then more darker. It's the opposite of what Michael Jackson got. Lucky bastard.
Ruckus, how could you possibly love white people so much?
It's easy. Have you ever looked at them? White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and pledge furniture cleaner. And look at them. They gave us discipline, jobs, put structure in our lives, took us out the jungle. And what we do to show our appreciation.
Here's the thing, Jeffrey. You're no different than Uncle Ruckus and Steven from Django Unchained. You don't want to be white. You are perfectly happy with giving Master the Guac Guac 3000 double hand twist because you just want Master to pat you on your head and look you in the eye as you swallow his jizzle. You are perfectly happy with that.
Well, how about this? Game.
So this is all I got from this video, and first of all, I'm going to start that I really hope he gets his awakening, because I mean, This young man is just unbelievable, really. And he started by saying, is it because he read books? Which book is he reading? Because I really don't understand the book he's reading that is like, making his brain go haywire. Because like, you can't be reading books and the book, it looks like the books are reading you, because that's how it looks. Yo, this young man, I am sure he knew everything Black people are going through and still like, went through like every damn thing, but he chose not to like, recognize and acknowledge that Black people like really have gone through so many things and like, still affecting them to this very moment. When you go down to his comment section, it really shows the kind of person he is and the audience he built, because his audience are literally white people. I mean, people that are looking for people to help them show how red to this they are, right? And he went further to ask, is it because he exercises? Like, how do people wake up to do things like this? I mean, because this young man, he sounds so unfortunate. So it means Black people don't read book. It means Black people don't speak proper. It means Black people don't exercise. It means Black people are not they don't take accountability. It means Black people are like, are the ones like, making everything up. Like Black people are making all this up, or they are not experiencing it, or they never experienced anything. They just want white people to like, they just want to put the blames on white people, right? So that takes me back to last weekend. I don't know how I stumbled. I am following an Asian guy. His name is Kes. Kes is really a very smart person, like, and he went live. Because I'm following him, then I saw that he went live, and then I clicked to check to find out that he went live with this Jeffrey, right? And he was pointing out to Jeff everything that is affecting Black community, all the things that are still affecting Black community, starting from the police brutality, redlining, so many things. He was like, the points he made so many great points. And guess what? This young man was dangling. I mean, Jeffrey he doesn't even like know anything. I mean, I was so embarrassed for him that day. Jeff was bringing up his points, making his points clear and backing it up. Like, I mean, he really came through that day for Black community. I thought I was recording it only to find out that my phone only recorded 36 seconds. I was really mad. I deleted it. If not, I would have shown you that. So it was another person from another race entirely telling a Black person what Black people are going through, how everything is affecting Black people, the systemic racism and all that. I don't know how. It was a shameful thing, very shameful thing, that someone from another race was the one pointing out what Black people are still facing till this particular era and the rest of it. And then it dawned on me that, man, a lot of people can really just like go a very long way to just be cheeky to their own community and the rest of it. And that is something I found very, very irritating. Because like, with everything that is still going on, the police brutality and the rest of it that is affecting Black people, and somebody is turning deaf ear to it, why it is all over, like it's very glaring. You can see it, you can see the struggles, and somebody does not want to acknowledge that. I mean, what are you getting, or what is somebody paying you to, like, to sell out your own community? Because he is a big time sellout, if you ask me. He is a very big seller, a big time sellout to Black community. I mean, he's useless to Black community, and that really sucks. Anyways, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain, and thank you all so much for the support, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.